Hi, and welcome back to Simpsons Treehouse of Horror number 13, our final one of Spooktober this year. With me again is my middle aged sister, Amanda. Thanks for joining us one more time.
Oh, yeah, this is great. Love it.
She will never be back on the show again.
I want to
uh,
explain to everybody what a time commitment this has been for me because I am very busy and important. So,
sure.
congrats.
Yeah. No,
Congrats for getting me on.
thank you. Yeah, so this is the Treehouse of Horror I was referring to a while ago that had Maud as a ghost in it. I thought this was actually much later in the Halloween special, so Ghost Maud is back. Homer's hitting on her, which is great.
He would.
Yeah, Maggie Roswell yelling at everyone feels like probably very cathartic for her to be like, "You motherfuckers, you killed me off."
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that. We
Yeah,
talked about that on the other one.
yeah, but yeah. So this Treehouse Horror number 13, original air date November 3rd, 2002, continuing the tradition of not airing in October
I
even.
will never understand that. It's so weird.
It's like I get it, like this was the first episode of the season, so they would have had to start the season even earlier. But just like, okay, Fox, make it a one-off holiday special, which it's funny because that was the original intention that like Fox wanted them just to be like, hey, can we do a couple seasonal specials a year? Like they want this to be their like Charlie Brown special that they would
Mm,
have like
yes.
a Halloween, Christmas, Easter type thing. Well, luckily that wasn't the case, but yeah. So the
Um,
first
what you missed a good sight gag when she gave him a to-do list and it was male wedding thank you notes, which anybody that has gotten married would know that's like a great joke because you never send them out unless you're me and we wrote our wedding thank you notes on the plane to our honeymoon.
There you go. I mean, you guys went to Hawaii, so you had like a 45-hour long flight. It was great.
Yeah, I get shit done,
Yeah.
as you
Yeah, I
can
also
see.
I'll have to use a screenshot of that for the audience. But yeah, no, this first segment is a parody of the classic movie Multiplicity, starring Michael Keaton.
What?
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
yeah. Michael Keaton starts cloning himself just so his clones can do all the boring work around the house he doesn't want to. Um,
That's
and,
fair.
and they get dumber and dumber as they go along. So considering Homer's already a moron, it doesn't work out too well
Mm.
for the
or
clones.
or you could just hire someone to do it.
Well, I don't know. Like, where in the canon of The Simpsons are we? Are they really dirt poor and still have to like are struggling to pay their bills? Or are they very wealthy now?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, is Homer going to space or is he, at his boss's birthday party?
Yeah, that's the fun thing with The Simpsons. Just like looking how their socioeconomic status has changed. I mean, it's like I'm sure you've seen the meme where it's like, Homer used to be a joke back in the '80s, but now having a single income family, two cars, and like
Yeah,
they're doing pretty damn good.
yeah. So this hammock. So the premise is this hammock makes Homer.
Get clones,
Mul-
yes.
why was the ham a magic hammock? Why?
Because his old hammock broke down and he bought a magic hammock.
Oh,
Listen,
all right.
it's a Halloween special. They have to get going. They have like 5 minutes to do this.
Do you remember that we had that hammock in the backyard, but Dad didn't hang it up right, so like you would just be laying on the ground.
Yeah. And it wasn't a great hammock either. It was like a netted one, so it's like it was
Yeah,
like falling apart. I think didn't Mom or like burn like it with her cigarette once? I feel like
yeah,
there was like a rip in it.
yeah. There definitely was.
Uh, yeah, this is great that like Lisa's noticing like how dumb Homer is, the Homer clones are, and Bart being like, me not notice speaking just as broken English as him.
Mm.
Yeah, and then this is actually a plot point straight from Multiplicity. The clones get excited about having sex with Andy McDowell, who is his wife in it, and my regular Michael Keaton doesn't fucking like that, and it's a very comedic scene where each clone sneaks in to have sex with her one right after the other, and she's like, "Wow, you have so much stamina," and it's like this is kind of an uncomfortable premise now.
What? That's crazy. Yikes.
Yeah, it's the late '90s, man.
Yeah, no, thank you.
But yeah, it's now a million clones of Homer, one representing every season of The Simpsons. Actually, no, there's still too few of them.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really just weird seeing like the evolution you can see of these Treehouse of Horrors through the years. We're now in 2002 on season 14. The golden era is long over according to fans and all that. I
Yes.
think most people.
According
Uh,
to me.
yes, and yeah, it's just weird to see like the evolution. So we've gone from the first one being a pretty dour, like yeah, it definitely has jokes in it, but like kind of scary, and then like getting very bloody, but still parodying classics like Frankenstein, Dracula, and all that to parodying Multiplicity, the Michael
Yeah.
Keaton rom com.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very weird.
I mean, of
But
course, there's still things to always parody, and the latter two segments of this are horror related and picked off horror concepts. So you can start seeing it's like, okay, what do we do here?
right.
This is great. Homer with a fucking rifle, fucking shooting every Homer clone who knows how to come back home. And again, they're
Wow.
still so stupid they keep volunteering to say they know.
The magic hammock.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
I
they're
would
just
like a
gonna
hammock.
okay, but they're just gonna clone themselves, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
you imply that you think Homer Simpson is a smart man who, even canonically in regular shows, wouldn't make dumb decisions like that. Yeah, I like
Oh,
Peter Griffin in the
yeah.
background, and then we have Tracy Ullman, Homer.
Frosted chocolate milkshakes.
This is great, and this is weird. Like we're about to see Gil, but he's got much darker hair than the usual Gil. So I guess
Yeah,
dyed his hair.
that doesn't look like Gil at all.
He says though, like old Gil is everything's coming up for me, and like oh Jesus, continuing on with him having horrible luck. Yeah, it's just like a
Yeah.
weird like off model Gil. Like I mean, fine, he's a
Yeah.
farmer for the episode. You got him in farmer clothes, but like you didn't draw him being the elderly man Gil.
Yeah. We were watching that episode the other day with Gil and the real estate
Yeah.
thing when he's like, I brought this wall from home.
I just love how he's like a parody of like the schmucky like putt or like fucking sad sack Jack Lemmon from that movie.
Yeah.
It's just like he just keeps getting worse and worse and worse every
Yeah.
time we see him. Yeah, and I just love this like Homer trying to deny the fact that he's somehow related to all the clones of him in town.
It's a good group.
Yeah, but yeah, the Viet Cong, I mean the Homers are occupying
Oh
here.
man. Yikes.
Yeah, like that Springfield has their own Pentagon, I guess. That or they were invited to the Pentagon, but
And you said we shouldn't invite little girls into the war room. That's nice. But it's always Lisa coming up with the solution, man.
well, wait till you get to the second segment.
Okay.
Spoilers. And again, going with Homer's gluttony, just like that's how we kill all the Homers, like lemmings
Mm,
off the cliff for donuts.
wow.
So yeah, I think a nice callback to Bart the Daredevil here.
Yeah. Springfield Gorge.
Yeah, got to see it again in the Simpsons movie. And then this is a fucking really macabre twist, but it's pretty funny.
They're mostly dead.
Yeah, so I mean that like off model for March here, but that's not what I was referring to. Clone Homer's the one that's left. Again, Homer knew the plan, but still ran over the cliff to get the donuts. And then yeah, she's just okay with it.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Kind of, spits in the eye of their perfect marriage and all that. But hey, whatever. I guess DNA wise, it is him. Now, this segment one, I don't think they would make this one now in today's political climate, tackling the Second Amendment. But this one is interesting because it goes back to what I was saying. They're starting to run out of ideas a little bit because this one is a kind of loose remake of Dial Z for Zombies with, we'll see zombies. And the segment The Monkey's Paw when they all have to give up their guns based on what Lisa would like. So you'll see it's a very interesting one. I do really like this one, but like as I started rewatching it for this one, I'm like, didn't I watch this one like a couple weeks ago? I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of did.
This is so Lisa. She just reads a headstone and she's like, all right, let's get it together.
Yeah.
Fire Gil, not guns. Did you see that?
Yeah. And then I love this. Mo is like a troubled like novelist. Just gotta keep painting Mo in a sadder and sadder light as we go on. And then the crazy Texan is so happy to get rid of guns by using guns. Yeah, no, I mean, this is just like straight out of the Monkey's Paw segment where all the townspeople are happily turning in their guns.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Maggie's guns.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, it's just hilarious. It's like all of them are so violent. I like how like I guess it ties into the whole who shot Mr. Burns thing. That yeah, she is a killer.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. You remember that awful episode about guns, the Cartridge Family? I think that was like season 11. That was awful.
Yeah. Again, you couldn't get heavy like making the joke that's like, man, having a gun compensates for like my small genitals. Like, oh my god, this would be torn to shreds now. And then the ending would be torn to shreds from the other side. But we'll get to that. I know that this is great with the playground made out of the recycled guns, but they didn't melt them down that well. And as we see, they didn't even unload them.
Perfect. I declare our town utterly defenseless.
Gotta really hammer in what's going to happen here.
Wow.
Yeah, Billy the Kid. Who would have known?
The corpse of Billy the Kid?
Yeah, well, I mean, the resurrected corpse of Billy the Kid, who was apparently buried in Springfield.
Cold, dead hands like Charleston Heston.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I just love this. Like, all these cowboys, Frank and Jesse James, Butch Cassidy, which, is Butch Cassidy even real?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, I know the movie, but I can't.
The most evil German of all time. Kaiser Wilhelm.
Yeah, then that's great. Okay, yeah, Butch Cassidy was real. But, yeah, yippee whippy. Great. Great with a terrible German accent. But, yeah, no, I mean, this is like the absurd things like from Dial Z for Zombie, like when they have like Shakespeare and George Washington also buried in the town. And then in a canonically real episode where we find out Homer thinks Walt Whitman's grave was his mother's, right? It was Walt Whitman.
Yeah. Screw you, Walt freaking Whitman.
Also, nice to see angles of Moe's that we don't typically see. We usually get to see the seating arrangements. The last time I recall seeing those are in Flaming Moe's.
Yeah, the Aerosmith.
And then Uncle Happy Moe's thing in Bart's Soul episode. This is great, just forcing the Simpsons at gunpoint to sing Old West songs.
Please don't hurt our family.
It's pretty macabre. But yeah, no, great. Yeah, I love how Homer's just like, let me have my big break here, guys. And Marge has to crush him. It's like, I don't think they're gonna give you your break. And then a shot at the Grammys, and then here we go, Professor Frink giving Homer a time machine. We all know from Time and Punishment how well that will go off. He immediately realizes what he has done. And you wonder what the fuck Homer did to make that one happen. But yeah, no, this is great. Just completely going against like, yep, nope, banning guns and curbing guns is a horrible idea. This would be fucking torn to shreds now. It's just great. Just like guns are the answers. Yeah. At least in the Monkey's Paw, it was just a board with a nail was the answer.
He's got a board with a nail in it.
I love this. How to explain this to a child? Future daddy needs to double kill these corpses. It's great. Fucking just unloading into the ground.
Oh my God.
Perfect. Even though it's a remake, I do and has some modern day implications that are bad. I do like it. I mean, like they said, I didn't know guns were really the answer. And this is a great design for future Homer. Too bad we didn't get to see it more.
Looks like a Poochie.
Yeah. Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, and then you love this. Mo finally gets his. He's gonna go get some caveman hookers. So see, I have like a weird Mandela effect with this because I remember that segment then ending with them all looking like Mo, like that Mo became like the
Yeah.
father of the species, but I guess not.
I like that he sees that as a smiley face.
Yeah, I mean it's very Homer looking on the bright side of things. Yeah, this is one of my least favorite segments. I don't know. I've never been a big fan of the Island of Dr. Moreau or any of that. So maybe I don't have love for the source material, but it's also I don't think the jokes are that great with it as we'll see. I mean, there are funny moments here. Oh yeah, I've been around Scotsmen before.
Yeah.
That, but I mean, it's just like a straight retelling of the thing almost, and or parts of it, and just Homer's idiocy is the only thing standing out. But yeah, nice to see Dr. Hibbert again as the villain.
One activity you might enjoy is not asking questions.
Yeah, again,
that's a good line.
You partially wonder, like, do you think they should have used Dr. Nick with the whole like botched surgery and being whack and all that? But I definitely think it's funnier to use Dr. Hibbert, who is generally, at least in the early seasons, just a straightforward doctor who's comedic. I mean, by this point, he was starting to become an idiot as well, and that's why you start seeing Dr. Nick less and less, because why go to the shady doctor when you can go to the established family doctor who's just becoming dumber as the time goes on?
And just that was horrifying to watch him carving that live. Dr. Frank Bird.
Yeah.
Yikes. House of pay. This must be where you pay the bill.
There's actually a later episode where Bart raises a calf for the 4-H club and like gets really attached to it and finds out they're going to kill it, which they're going to kill it, which he's horrified by. So they have to come up with a convoluted scheme to get the cow out of the country, and like Apu helps to send it to India because racism, making those jokes. But like part of the plan involves Homer dressing up as the cow. So he's in a cow costume, and he's on a truck, and he's like, oh, look. And he's on the phone to Marge. He's like, oh, Marge, look, they're taking me to the Laughter House. It must be like a comedy club. And he can't see through the eye holes that well to see. It's
Slaughterhouse.
Yeah. And Marge is like, oh, Laughter House. That's great. Well, now to turn my cell phone off to save the battery. And like it ends with her turning on. She's got like 100 missed calls. Really great. Yeah, and I love that. It's like Homer's like, actually, I might have suspected that during the sex. Gotta replace the M&Ms in the mini bar. And then this is fucking weird as shit. Like, this is some Rule 34 level shit going on here with Flanders and Homer.
Ugh.
Milk me. Ugh.
Is this what Island of Dr. Moreau is?
I mean, half human, half animal hybrids. Some versions have made them look actually animal-like. Others really haven't. I know like the infamously fucked up one that this came after with Brando and Val Kilmer, which was like a clusterfuck. Like the director just disappeared into the jungle. Like he just like had a mental breakdown.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah. I'm a dog. Yeah, no, this is it's a very weird segment, and I'm kind of disappointed that this is how we go out on for this extravaganza. If you
extravaganza, yes.
Again, Amanda will never do this show again, unless you all like and subscribe and comment.
How many subscribers do you have now?
270 or 50, 60 something.
All right. If you get 300, then I will do another something.
I should mention that I was only at 200 subscribers a couple weeks ago, so that's almost a guarantee at this rate. So
Fuck. Okay, if you get to 500.
I like how you make it so comedically low. Like you think I'm not gonna get like 20 more subscribers.
It's not that I don't have faith in you, it's that I don't have faith in you.
We'll have to space these out. Well, initially, I just wanted to do one long video where we just talked about the Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors. Amanda was the one who's like, no, let's do commentary tracks for them. So she did not know what she was getting into.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand what you do, but you know, trying to be supportive.
Thank you. The mayor of Tentagony, Ohio is supportive of me as well. Just want to say, Amanda,
Great.
you should help me out. Disco Shrew, great joke.
Oh, that is good. Disco Shrew.
Yeah, I love Agnes Skinner is a kangaroo, and you see that Principal Skinner is in her pouch. Yeah, I mean the visual designs are pretty good with this.
Yeah,
Like I said, I
yeah.
wish there was just more done with it. I mean, I love this. Like, how do you like being a Wallerstedt? It's great. I haven't been this skinny since high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's
Oh, and there we go. We gotta get him.
yeah.
Got him in. Gotta get him in.
We're at the fucking 11th hour here. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean a lot more involvement than they've gotten in other ones. So there's one where it's just like they're just literally in the background of an establishing shot. But there we go. So well, thank you guys for joining us for the 13 commentaries. Join us in a moment, which I guess you don't have to join. It'll immediately cut to as we do a brief discussion about what we liked and didn't like about these ones.
A brief discussion.
Yes. We're now back. So overall, do you really regret agreeing to do this?
I mean, regret's a strong word.
No, I know you're not a huge fan of Halloween in general, let alone The Simpsons Halloween.
Yeah.
But what was it like for you watching all 13 of these in a reasonably short amount of time?
You know, I think because it's like number one, they're not my favorite episodes. So like, I mean, I know The Simpsons by heart, but like these are the ones that like I don't really pay attention to and I never really watch. But and especially so that's one, like, so I'm not super familiar with them, but then also they're segmented out. And I was, I think about the segments as standalones. So I remember the monkey's paw one a lot because that's like one of the first ones. And I remember, the Raven one and that kind of thing. So it was just interesting to me that they how they showed up like in my consciousness, that like I didn't realize that they were all put together in that way. Like I thought, one would be from like a later season and was from an earlier season and vice versa.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I love Halloween, as we've established numerous times, and the bank card just keeps getting drained more and more each year. But no, I mean, I love them. I've been saying for years, like before Disney Plus came, I was like always really like, man, I kind of want like Fox to just put out like a DVD of like all the Treehouse of Horrors, because they did one DVD like back like when season 4 I think was the only one out, and like it had a handful of random episodes on it. I'm like, yeah, you should do something with this, Fox. So I am glad now that Disney Plus obviously has every episode up, but like has like the bucket, though you have never been able to find the bucket, but it's there, I swear, of like, yeah, all of them in a row. So that's how I watch these prepare it. Just like went from one right to the other, which is nice. Yeah, no, a lot of them had similar feelings where it's like, yeah, I kind of forgot what went with what, because I would usually see bits and pieces across the years and all that. I knew the earlier seasons obviously better, but with the one with Y2K and Desperately Zinking Xena and I Know What You Diddly Did, I'm like, I didn't remember those all came from the same one. Like, I remember all of them individually.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still some very good segments in later ones. This 13th one, I think, was the weakest of the ones we watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I laughed for sure. And that's the thing, is like, even with modern day Simpsons, I'll still laugh at it. It's just, it's not the punching, the punch you feel from like the classic era of The Simpsons, where you're laughing like every 30 seconds.
Well, somebody had a quote that said like the Simpsons is like pizza and sex, even when it's bad, it's still good. So that's kind of the takeaway, I think, with these episodes, even though they are literally my least favorite Simpsons episodes in general. They're still good. It's still The Simpsons.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I love the creativity we got with these. It's like the writers can really stretch like what you can do. Like you can't have the Simpsons killing each other. You can't have Homer turning on the kids like this. That's like it's the Halloween special. They're non-canon. It's
Yeah.
funny to see them at their fucking most evil. Like the idea that Marge would be fine locking her child up in the attic, feeding him fish heads.
Yeah, that I mean that's actually one of my favorites. Actually, I think that one is really well done. That and the monkey paw one
Yeah.
probably.
So, well, and I guess we'll get into my top five, and we'll discuss because I know you don't have a top five particularly. No, we'll do my top five, and we'll talk about like what you think about them and how they would kind of rank for you. So, number five for me is from Treehouse of Horror. Number seven, Citizen Kang. I know you
Mm.
like Clinton.
Oh yeah. I like that one.
Uh,
Clinton.
yeah, I mean it's just a great political satire. I think a lot of me likes it more now in
Yeah.
2021, looking back at a simpler idea of politics and all that, and just like it's almost pleasant to go back to that time.
Is that the one that has the sight gag where or is that the Stampy one where they have you're going through a Republican National Convention and they're like we want what's worse for everyone, and then you
Yeah,
go
we're just
into
plain evil.
yeah, we're just plain evil, and then you go into the Democrat one and it's like we can't govern and like we hate ourselves.
That was the Stampy one,
Okay,
but yeah,
the
I mean
Stampy one.
that. And I guess that's like just an overall thing about politics in general. You could not do that today. But like, yeah, The Simpsons, even though they were definitely a left-leaning show, were
Yeah,
not afraid to take shots at the left and like have some really funny humor with it.
yeah.
I mean, I love when Sideshow Bob is captured in the one episode. He's like, "Oh, don't worry. Soon there will be a Democrat in the White House, and me and all my friends will be back on the streets." Like,
It's
yeah,
a good line. It's a good
yeah.
line.
I'm sure Kelsey Grammer really agreed with that line too.
Sure, he did.
Um, yeah, so it's just a great moment. It's nice seeing Kang and Kodos, actually be involved in the storyline. As I said, that was the first heavy involvement they had in the story since the first one. They've always been around, but like actually being involved in the plot didn't happen too often.
Yeah.
So, and then number four is the monkey's paw, a little lower on the list, but with we've done 3 segments times 13 episodes. That's a lot of fucking segments. So, but yeah, it's a classic one. I like the monkey's paw, myth to it. It's great to see like how their wishes keep getting perverse. I will routinely quote the "turkey's a little dry" line.
Yep.
And it's
I don't want any zombie turkey. I don't want to be a turkey myself.
Yeah, it's just funny like seeing like them lampshading how huge the Simpsons were at that point, that people are starting to get sick of them and all.
Yeah.
They know 30 seasons later they're still going strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we have number 3, Time and Punishment from number 5. That's the one with the toaster time travel. It's, even though we don't get to see too many of the main characters throughout, consistently, it's a great Homer segment. He is just hilarious how he keeps inadvertently and then on purpose fucking up the past out of pure anger, which I feel like a lot of us would do at a certain point. Be like, okay, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to do whatever I want at this point.
Right.
Ned Flanders as a dictator is great. It's just all around a great segment. And the next one, this will be a little controversial. The Shinnin is my number 2. So,
really?
yeah. Obviously, it looks great because they're parodying specific segment or specific shots from the Kubrick movie. Probably the closest parody that they had ever done at that point.
Yeah, it's super close.
Yeah, and it's great, having like the callbacks to like earlier episodes where Smithers and Burns are making a bet over something so trivial as a Coca-Cola on the lives of this family.
Right.
No TV, no beer makes Homer go crazy is a great
line. Yeah.
And yeah, then number 1 for me is Dial Z from Zombies from Treehouse of Horror number 3.
Which one is that?
That's the one where they inadvertently raise the zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like that one. I'm not a huge fan of zombies, so you can't call me like, biased here, but I just love the humor with it, that like all this shit goes down because they're trying to bring up Snowball 1, trying to bring this Snowball 1 back from the dead. And then just like how great Homer is at being stupid, forgetting to fucking board the doors up, the slow burn of like Zombie Skinner taking some of the smartest kids like Martin down to the principal's office. Homer being more concerned about the kids wrecking the car than the zombie apocalypse.
The car's okay, right?
Yeah. And then of course, Dad, you shot Zombie Flanders. He was a zombie.
I can't believe Hugo didn't make your list.
It was close. Like if I did like a top 10, I didn't want to make this longer than it needed to be. I think he probably would have been like maybe 6 or 7.
Okay. And then what about the teachers eating the kids?
That was actually pretty close to being in the top 5, but I'm like looking, I'm like, I can't include, like, I'm like, do I really want to include 3 of the slots are all from episode 5?
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. They were
which,
all.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's the highest rated one out of the entire series. So definitively it is the best year. It's just, when I look at that one, I like how fucking brutal it gets.
Yeah,
like,
it's yikes.
But just something like, I don't know, like what pushed it out was Citizen Kang. Like I went back and forth with which would be 5. So number 6 I would say is the Lunchroom one, and number 7 would be Hugo probably.
All right.
Do you have a favorite one? We know the Raven is not your favorite.
I hate the Raven. I don't know favorite. I think like Monkey Paw, the Hugo one, and maybe the Lunchroom one. The one I really hate is the advertisement one.
Yeah,
right?
I go back and forth with this and the Dr. Hibbert one we just watched.
Yeah.
Dr. Moreau one, which is my least favorite. I mean,
Yeah.
And again, it's like you said, it's like pizza and sex. It's even when it's bad, it's good. That there are funny moments in it. Like I love in that one, Homer dooms the fucking town
because he won't stop looking.
Donut.
Yeah, for a donut. Yeah.
That he can't even eat. He's just like got a 30-foot donut in his front yard. That's completely useless. But I think that's overall with the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror and the Simpsons in general. Like they may not all be like home runs, but they're still fun to watch in certain settings. I don't think I'm going to be rewatching many of these first 13 again anytime soon.
Yeah.
I know you probably won't ever again.
Probably not.
But no, it's a great Halloween tradition that's been going on for 30 plus years now.
It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the show in general. It's like part of you like just kill it. Like I've listened to recent clips. It's like you can really hear it's starting to sound like Julie Kavner and Dan Castellaneta are getting a little tired and all that.
Yeah.
It's just like you wonder, I mean, that clip show where they did "We'll Never Stop the Simpsons" aired like 20 years ago, I think, at this point.
That's true. That's funny.
That's like hilarious that the episode that was making fun of the longevity of the Simpsons and how it had been on for way too long was almost 20 years ago.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I truly wonder whenever it will happen, and we can then all reflect back on what a great icon this series has been and how about a third of it, at the very least, is terrible. Maybe 2/3.
TBD, we'll see.
Yeah, well, until then, I just want to thank my sister for being on and joining us through this month-long insanity of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
It has been fun.
There we go.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, just forget the fact that she said, Jesus Christ, I have to do another one of these things last week. It's fine.
You're gonna clip that, right? I need to have that.
Yeah, I got it clipped. I'll send it to you today.
Perfect.
But yeah, so thanks everyone for watching. As she said, happy Halloween, and maybe we'll do another one. We don't know. 500 subscribers.
Yeah, get on it. Buy some fake bots to if you want to do that.
Exactly. All right, well, everyone have a good night and a good Halloween.